I know that's you got to be a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, one of the main thing is when they just about all the time they're asking for what the count is. So you're telling them.
Do the count. Okay,
do
good.
The count.
See, that's
just
good.
about every time they're asking for the count. So.
Okay. Okay, that's
and
good.
there are some that can hear a little bit, so you're still vocal, but not. You don't have to be quite as.
I'm probably
quite as
one that
much.
gives the count more as opposed to some who give less.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I get a little aggravated when I'm in the bases because I try to keep count, but if I don't, I'm thinking I'll pick it up in a minute and be like 4 balls go by. I was like,
yeah.
You know. But okay, good.
But as Dave always says, you know, he always just does it when it's a special count, like if it's 3 and 1 or 3 and 2.
Right.
Or
one
ball, 2 strikes or something. Something that really is more important. But
as
I'm like you. I'm going 2-2.
Yeah.
1-1.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So mechanics are big are a big part of the game for the deaf. Yeah. Mechanics being the hand signals that we let them know. Probably the infield flies is going to be a big one. The infield flies.
Yeah.
I'll be behind the plate today. So what happens is if a girl hits a pop fly into the infield, Larry's going to be probably first to signal it because I'll be taking my mask off, and I'll be once I'm taking my mask off, I'll be looking, but I'll also be watching Larry. Yeah. If I see him point up,
that's infield fly.
He'll do the mechanic first, and if I miss it, then he can then verbally as well say infield fly, if fair, batter's out. But that's going to be a big part of it. We try to give the out calls, put our hand up and say the out. Big safe calls if it's really close, whether it's out or safe. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the mechanics that we do were safe and out, and then of course giving the signal with 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's going to be important today for them so that they'll stay right with the game, so they don't have to take time to ask what's the count. So if you give it to them, then the game's going to stay more on track.
And being their coach does speak, why they'll ask him a
or
question.
Her.
They'll ask him. He'll say, "Am I out?" And he'll say, "Yes, you're out," and he'll explain why.
Okay.
To him.
Yeah, they have a mediator, so she's not deaf, but she does all the signing. So she's the assistant coach. Yeah. So that's helpful.
So what's like the hardest thing, like umping, that you think because they are deaf? Like, what's the hardest thing, like trying to get across?
A lot of times when it's a foul ball or something,
just because
they can't hear you saying foul ball, and they're continuing to run or something. You really have to.
And that's not a bad thing because you never as a batter, you never want to assume the ball's foul until you hear the umpire say it or make the gesture. So Larry would be on the bases same way. If a ball's hit, his first mechanic is to put his hand straight up, which means foul ball. So if they see that, that's great. And normally, a person that doesn't have the impairment would hear me say foul ball. But now they're going to be they're probably going to be more prone to watch him because they're going to be looking out in the field. They're going to see Larry first. Hands go up, they're going to stop. So I would say that
also if their coach is watching me, she'll tell them to stop also. So.
Right. Where they're going to have, to me, I would think they're going to rely on their coaches once they're on base and there's a fly ball. For example, if there's their bus. So they're going to want to tag accordingly. A lot of girls will listen for me to yell catch or out, and then they know they can go. Well, they're not going to be able to hear that. What they're probably going to do is I would say that the runner's going to be very transfixed on their coaches to make sure that when that catch happens, and they're going to be telling them to come or to go or whatever sign they make.
So they don't leave early.
So exactly, they don't leave early.
If they leave early, they're going to be out.
Right.
So how many games have you like softball games wise for like the deaf
for deaf school?
Yeah.
I've probably done 5 or 6 over the years.
Do you guys do like other like softball games for people who aren't like for non-deaf schools and stuff, like just normal?
Yeah, we do most of the high school. Games.
Central Indiana.
Central Indiana games.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have done one basketball game for the deaf. Same thing sort of applies. Now they can hear because with the whistles, the shrill part, they seem to pick it up a little bit more than our voices. They do try to pay attention to the mechanics and the signals that we make as well. We'll say, foul 21. So we'll point to which team first. I got a foul on the white team, number 21, so that they pick all that up. So mechanics are probably the most important thing. The non-verbal dead ball mechanics, so that they can pick up on what's going on in the game.
Okay. Thank you guys.